in a rock crusher. For the next half hour, you're in off-road virtual reality on a 250-mile race through the high desert of Nevada. Covering the adventure of the world's toughest motorsport. Today on American Off-Road, we feature highlights from the 25th annual Gold Coast Snore250 from the desert outside Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen and welcome to American Off-Road. I'm walking on what was once a part of the old Los Angeles to Las Vegas highway. It has since been replaced by much more modern interstates. But today, it will become an active part of the Southern Nevada off-road racing enthusiasts Gold Coast 250. Now, this road, believe it or not, and with its weathered and lonely appearance, is actually one of the smoothest sections of this entire race course. Now, the Snore Group, the Southern Nevada off-road racing enthusiasts, have brought 10 different classes out here today, everything from the trucks to the buggies, to compete on this very brutal racetrack. And with more on the course and the competitors, here's my broadcasting partner, the legendary Ironman, Ivan Stewart.
Thanks, Ralph. One of the biggest problems these guys are going to have out here in the Nevada desert is not necessarily always the other competitors they have to beat to the finish line. A lot of time it's the elements, it's the dust, it's the rocks. Rocks like this one will actually tear a wheel off of a race car, definitely give you a flat. The guys that don't have respect for this type of terrain, that overdrive their equipment, will not get to the finish line, believe me, much less win this race.
Today's course is southwest of the city of Las Vegas and is 4 laps and 250 miles to the finish. The course includes 4 checkpoints and 5 pits along the 62 miles of desert trail.
Ralph, this course has got everything you can imagine a desert could throw at you. Tight, twisty little courses like this, a little twisty trail, lots of rocks. Long, fast straightaways, about 120 miles an hour that you guys will be going on this particular road. Then you've got the loamy, deep, sandy type trails, lots of dust. Very, very competitive.
Well, the drivers are climbing into their machines, cinching down the belts, and getting one last good gulp of dust-free air. There's 8 different divisions, Ivan, we're watching for today.
That's right, Ralph. This is the unlimited class. Very sophisticated racing machines. Porsche engines make about 300 horsepower. Super 1600 to 1600 class, same thing, but 1600 cc's. Weigh about 1,550 pounds. Then we have the heavy metal class. These are the big boys, the big V8 horsepower. The mini metal class, 6-cylinder engine, about 3,000 pounds.
Here's all the cars lined up, ready to go. We're getting set for the official start of the race. Tom Koch, there he goes. First one out, 9 a.m. in the morning. There's 8 different classes here today. Over 70 vehicles will be running on the course at the same time. Now, Ivan, even though Tom Koch is the first one out of the box, just because you're first out doesn't necessarily mean you're leading.
No, that's exactly right, Ralph. Everybody is timed individually, so the cars behind him that are starting with 30 seconds behind could be gaining.
Here's a look through the different rundowns. There you see Class 1, the unlimited lineup. Here's a look back at car number 101. That's Tom Koch, our leader. He's 46 years old. He's been in this sport for over 23 years.
Tom's been around a long time. He's done a lot of racing with Tom.
As a former winner of this event, Tom really knows the advantage of being the first out of the box.
I think it's a pretty big advantage when you're in this small of a course and as dusty as it is. If you get a clear shot at the first lap, it's always a nice deal.
Now, you got a bunch of heavy hitters coming up behind you, though. Will you have to push real hard, or will you try to find your own pace?
I'm going to find my own pace because this course here eats up cars.
Here's a look at Tom now as he works his way through one of those sandy sections of the racetrack. And here's Pat Dean. Pat, you can see he'll be coming out at 9:01:30, so he's the 4th one out of the gate here, and he's a little bit behind. He's got a couple of wins this year, winning in San Felipe and the Baja 500, so a good competitor here from a famous family.
Pat's dad, Butch, is really well known around Las Vegas as a car builder and designer and preparer. And his brother, JC, is also extremely talented.
And right now, you're doing about 120 miles an hour across a desert floor in Nevada. Here comes Mike Peterson into your living room. This is the only truck in the unlimited class. Mike broke his neck about 4 years ago, and it's his first race back. and he is doing it in a truck here at the Snore250. Now, Ivan, this is a view that's a little bit more similar to what you would see out of your racing Toyota truck.
That's exactly right, Ralph. See, the visibility is much better from a truck. You're a little bit higher. Obviously, this is a real smooth road. They're not getting bounced around much.
Here's our current leader in the unlimited class. That's Mr. Koch out in front right now. Tom Koch working his way through. Now we drop back to Pat Dean.
These guys are really enjoying the fact that they don't have the dust. They haven't got up in the dust yet, especially Tom Koch. Obviously, he's out front.
It won't be too long, though, before they get into that dusty stuff. And the one thing about this is you have to... Oh, and we got a problem out on the race course already. One of the trucks is down. Mike Peterson with a problem. And this really can mess up a driver's mind.
It really can. Not only does it take the time to change the tire, but now it puts you away. You've got to pass these guys again, Ralph.
Here's our 1600 leader, the only woman in the field, Becky Freeman, another famous family in off-road racing.
That's right, Ralph. She's a very, very competitive lady, believe me. Her dad rides with her. In fact, she races against her brother, Kenny Jr., and his wife, Carrie, rides with him. We have a problem down the course. Let's go down the route.
Unfortunately for Craig Simmons, his car broke down just less than a quarter of a mile away from the start. The good news for Craig Simmons is just happened to be where Eddie Webb was watching the rest of the Barbary Coast cars come flying through. Nothing like breaking down with one of the best mechanics in town standing right by. They'll fix the wire that fell off the ignition. Craig Simmons will get to rejoin the race.
That's all part of off-road racing, desert style, I tell you.
Here's Becky Freeman out on the course. She is the current 1600 class leader. You know, Ivan, she started riding in her parents' dune buggy when she was only 3 months old. She's really got it in the blood.
She really does. She's very good and smooth. Just watch her through these corners there, how efficient she is.
Growing up in a desert racing family like the Freemans has really helped this 23-year-old develop some driving savvy.
There's a lot of things you think you have to slow down for that you really don't want to. You want to keep your foot in it and go over top of it. You don't want to be down in the ruts. You want to be on top of it so you have a smooth ride.
She's talking about flying the ruts, right?
That's exactly what she's saying. She's talking about just hitting the high part of the bump.
Here's brother Kenny Freeman. He's closing in on her now from second place in this 1600 battle. And look at the different lanes they're utilizing here.
That's right. There's kind of unique in this area because there's different lanes that a guy can try and make a pass here.
And a big turn coming up. She's on the outside. He's on the inside. He should have the advantage here. Let's see how they come out. They do. Kenny's going to take the lead on the inside move on her, and she's not going to like it.
Oh, she isn't. Watch this. She is not going to let him get away with that, Ralph, I'll tell you.
Well, we've got a great battle brewing here in the high desert of Nevada. Stay with us on American Off-Road. We got plenty of dust still to kick up.
Thank goodness for remote controls. But how about a remote control that removes spots and stains?
Hi, I'm Susie Brandon, your Susie Homemaker, with an amazing new discovery. Now, John Champion tells us that Stain Blaster can remove stains at the push of a button. Now, this I've got to see.
That's right, Susie. It's like having a remote control that removes stains. Now, tell me, is there anything that stains worse than soy sauce?
Ew.
Now, you simply aim, press, and blast away. And you don't even have to bend over.
Where'd it go? Let me try that. Wait a minute, let me try that.
Okay, Susie, here's some red wine.
All right, now just push this button.
That's it. Ready, aim, fire.
Oh, my goodness, this is so much fun. You can't wait for your next stain.
That's great because I've got some
great.
black coffee coming up next. No mixing, no mess. Just aim and press.
Oh, I can't believe my own eyes.
It takes care of odors as well.
John, let's hear what some of the callers have to say about Stain Blaster.
Last night, my dog did some artwork on the carpet, and I used Stain Blaster, and it got rid of the stain and the smell in seconds. It worked just great.
I destroyed the floor mats in my car, and I was ready to throw them out. So I used Stain Blaster on the stains, and it zapped them out like magic.
That's terrific. Nice to know Stain Blaster saved you some money.
On clothing, just place a paper towel underneath. It removes lipstick, ketchup, salad dressing, blood, fruit juice, and mustard. You get 2 large 14-ounce cans for just $14.95, plus our no questions asked guarantee.
My baby was sick on the couch last week, and Stain Blaster got rid of the mess and that awful odor. My husband is always tracking in grease from the garage, but I sprayed it with Stain Blaster, and it came out really easy.
That's
Excellent.
terrific. John, just one more time. I love when men clean up after me. See for yourself how amazing Stain Blaster really is. Pick up the phones and call toll-free now.
I'm ready for prime time. Prime Time Country, weeknights, live. across America.
9 Eastern, 8 Central on TNN, the Nashville Network.
That's TNN.
Welcome back to American Off-Road. You are at the Southern Nevada Off-Road Racing Enthusiast Gold Coast 250 here in the Las Vegas desert. Ralph Shaheen and Ivan Stewart with you. You're riding along with Mike Peterson, reeling in another truck. Remember, he had a problem with a flat tire earlier. He's back on course and running well. Now, a whole bunch of people working through this tight section. This is what we talk about, traffic in the desert.
That's exactly right. And this is a typical example of the dust and the traffic that you can get in desert racing.
2 or 3 different classes of cars all working through the same section of desert at the same time. Over 70 vehicles out on the course at the same time today. Things get tight.
That's right, Ralph. Even though the course is 60 miles long, a lot of times you're inside traffic continually.
And you see Scott Bassett leaning on the horn right now. There's a good look at Scott. You have to do that as that big Chevy came up on the slower traffic. You got to get on the horn and warn them you're right behind them. Here's a look at the lineup for the 2 pickup divisions, the heavy metal class, the big trucks, the mini metal, the mid-sized machines. Here's Bill Dickton, a 4-time winner of this race, and 5 times he's won the heavy metal championship in the Snore sanctioning in this Dodge truck out on the desert today, having a good race up front. Tony Leonard now is in an older Ford truck, and even though it's an older machine, it's just as competitive.
It very well is. Very, very durable and tough trucks these are.
Here you see Charles David. He's 60 years old. He is the mini metal leader, and he's missing the hood already.
A lot of times you see that, Ralph, but it really doesn't hurt anything. That's only cosmetic and won't hurt the effect of the truck.
Boy, did you see the co-driver getting flopped around in there? Tough day for him. Here is one of our Class 7 trucks, one of the mini metal machines. This is Tom Dunn. Now, Tom had some trouble getting started today, but things are working a lot better now. And look at the Parker pumper system here. That's a fresh air system, right?
That's right. What that is fresh air that's pumped into your helmet so you breathe fresh air.
Now, here's Tom Koch. Remember, he is our unlimited leader. He's in the white machine on the inside. He'll make the move. He really was patient there. Now, Pat Dean is down in the pit area. He's getting back into the racing action. He had some problems with the machine. They've straightened that out in one of the pit areas, and he'll return.
He only had the breather hose come off. This is a typical pit out here in the desert. They've got their fuel, they've got their tires. He's only lost 1 minute to Coke.
Back out on the course now, Kenny Freeman. Remember, he passed his sister Becky. He is out front of the 1600 class, but he's got a lot of competition coming after him, including this man. Danny Anderson has moved himself into second. What does that mean? That means Becky Freeman's going farther back. Here's John Prosser. He's up to third. Becky Freeman has fallen all the way back to 4th place. Is that a problem, do you think, Ivan?
Well, it really is. Once you fall back like that, it's going to be really tough to work your way through traffic.
Back up front now. Here's Mike Peterson and Dale Weiss machine, the big pickup. He's got to get around this guy.
Okay, here's the tough part. Okay, actually, he got an option. He came to a part of the road, he can go right or left. He's going to use the horsepower, go to the right. Let's see if he can get by him.
You know, Mike Peterson's been a Class 10 racer most of his career. He accepted this ride in Dale White's machine, and he has no problem being the only truck in the unlimited class.
Well, to me, I feel that it's going to be an advantage. This is my first race in the truck, and I used to race buggies, and it just seems like the truck works a lot better than the buggies. I feel that it handles the rough better, and you can go faster. Being up a little higher gives you a little advantage in the dust when you're coming up on the buggies.
Well, you can really see the truck working through this tricky section here.
And this particular section is really rough. You can see how well the truck works. This is the big whoop-de-doos we talk about.
It's amazing how rapidly the course will change in front of you. Here he is working through a tight section. Now, hang with this for just a second. Look at this, Ivan. A big, long straightaway right in front of him now.
He makes that big right-hand corner, and this is the way you really make the horsepower run.
Now we go back into some of the unlimited buggies there. That looks like Coke. There's Dean. So that means that Coke has really got to get hard on the throttle. But look at what Pat Dean's got to deal with.
Well, this is what it's all about. This is dust off-road racing at its best right here.
And this is the battle for the lead as Dean is on Coke, and he's hard on the horn and the bumper. Oh, boy. On asphalt racing, you bump a guy like that, you get the black flag. Not in the desert.
Well, that's the only way that they can let him know that he's back there. He's got to give him a bump and say, hey, I'm back here. Please pull over. I've got to get by you here.
Please. I don't know about please, but he did let him know he wanted him to pull over. Here's the unlimited leaderboard. Your new leader up front, Pat Dean, and Troy Herbst is closing in. Look at the dust that these guys are dealing with. no wind here today in the Nevada desert.
Ralph, this is why I always talk about we need a little bit of wind in the desert. These guys are just inching along here. Not only can they not see the guy in front of them, they can't see the big ditch that they're going to fall right into. So this is tough condition.
Stay with us, wipe your goggles clean, put the remote down. We're coming back with more from the Nevada desert after this.
Now, for your home and shop, one amazing blade that cuts through practically anything. This is new Multi-Disc. It's safe, it won't break or shatter. It's amazingly flexible. It will never bind or kick back your work. Multi-Disc cuts through this rock-hard ash baseball bat. It cuts through copper and iron pipes. Plastic pipes are cut off clean. There's no melting. Multi-Disc is diamond and carbide throughout. As its powerful edge cuts, its sides grind a beautiful burr-free edge. It's one of the best grinding wheels on the market. It shapes tile, grinds away paint, rust, and debris in seconds. Call toll-free or send for Multi-Disc now and start saving hundreds of dollars on single-purpose blades and wheels. Multi-Disc does it all. Stop aggravating blade changes. Use the same Multi-Disc to do hundreds of jobs. It saves you time and money. Best of all, Multi-Disc will work on any rotary tool in your home or shop. Put it on your household drill and it cuts like magic. Grind off stripped screws or rusted bolts easily. Multi-Disc cuts like a blade and grinds like a wheel. No ordinary blade can do that, and you can use it on any rotary tool you own. Compare Multi-Disc with expensive steel blades for cutting Formica. Multi-Disc sands while it cuts so there's no chipped edges. Call or send now. Cut perfect angles and grind curves in ceramic tile. This versatile tool cuts picture frame perfect moldings and trim. Hobbyists love it for detailing plastics, metal, and wood. Now you can take care of your own car, remove all that paint, rust, and excess body filler. Now, in this limited time offer, you get 2 Multi-Discs, a universal arbor to assure they'll fit all your rotary tools, and our unconditional money-back guarantee, all for only $12.98. Order now.
Welcome back to American Off-Road with Ralph Shaheen and Ivan Stewart. You're riding along with Pat Dean, the current leader in the unlimited division of the Gold Coast 250. You're now seeing Eric Schemberger in Class 9 with a damaged left rear wheel. The wheels and tires really take the brunt of these harsh conditions. Let's check in with Ivan down in the pits.
You know, believe it or not, a lot of the teams out here in the Nevada desert will use an old bent-up spun aluminum wheel opposed to a cast wheel. You can see where this wheel has hit a big rock out here in the desert. It's compressed the sidewall. But instead of blowing the side of the tire out, it's actually bent the wheel a little bit. We also talk about the rocks out here in the desert. This tire here has had about maybe 2 laps on it. And you can see the kind of abuse that tread has got. You got to remember, you got to give a little bit to get a little here.
Back on board with Pat Dean, who already has a win this year at the San Felipe 250 and the Baja 500, looking to add the Gold Coast 250 to his trophy case. Troy Herbst slipping back, Mike Peterson moving up. And look now, he gets into the dust, and there's Scott Bassett coming back onto the course. Oh, and they get together, Ivan.
Oh, that could have been catastrophic. That was way too, that was a hard hit.
I don't know what either one of them was thinking. We got the in-car view of it. Let's see what Pat Dean saw.
Well, it looks like he's just coming through the dust, and he sees the truck off to his right-hand side. Boom. He just hits. It looked like he was just expected to go around to the left and miss the guy.
Sounded like a pretty hard hit for Pat Dean. Now, Dean was lucky to avoid damage in this collision. A number of other competitors are out of the race. There can only be one winner, so the love of competition must fuel the fire of these racers until they race again.
It gets depressing when you start having to prep the car. But besides that, you got to love it out here. I mean, it's fun. When you're going fast, going across the desert dead fast, it's a lot of fun. And there's nothing that compares to it for me.
One driver who is working real hard right now is Tom Koch. He is second in the unlimited division right now, trying to catch Pat Dean. And look how hard he is working that machine as he flies over those jumps.
Tom has always been a very competitive driver.
Here's Mike Peterson in his big white pickup, the third-place unlimited machine. He's trying to catch Koch, and he's going to slide by Charles David from Class 7.
That's what's really good about having a co-driver. That was an excellent example of the co-driver saw him coming, they pulled over, and away he went.
Now we'll take a look at Pat Dean, who's closing up on the backside of the 960 machine. Dean is the unlimited class leader.
We got to keep in mind there, Pat has got to get by this guy. He can't waste any time, but he's got to be careful because he knows that Tom Koch is behind him. Tom could be gaining on him. So he's got to be careful, but yet he's got to get by the guy.
Let's just lay out and ride with Pat now and see how he does it.
He's going to get him on the right, Ralph. He's going to make that pass before he gets to the end of this gravel pit. That's a good move.
So Pat Dean, who could qualify as a New York cabbie the way he leans on that horn, gets around Jim O'Donnell and moves on. Here's a heavily damaged Scott Bassett.
You know, that damage, I'm sure, was done earlier by Pat Dean when they had that collision.
Beaten and battered, but still leading in heavy metal is Scott Bassett. Now look at these guys, Ivan. Doesn't look like a smooth ride for Tom Dunn.
No, I would say that you guys are having a definite suspension problem. It looks to me like the springs on this truck are way too stiff. That's why it's bouncing that front end.
Rosser now becomes the third person to be out in front of the 1600 field, and that's not unusual. Pretty close class here.
It really is. You know, that's what's so good about this class. Very competitive. The engines are all the same. Always good racing.
That's one division where it really comes down to the driver's ability. Danny Anderson, one of those competitors, moving up through the field. Maybe he'll get a crack at the lead.
Listen to him scream that engine. He probably turned about 6 grand on that motor.
Kenny Freeman, one of the 1600 competitors who's struggling right now, he has slipped back a little bit.
He's negotiating these big rocks and big ditches. This is what this desert's really tough for, those big rocks.
And poor Becky Freeman, a leader early on, all the way back to 5th, and here we go with Pat Dean again. You know, Ivan, Pat Dean has been known to get himself in trouble with over-aggressive driving in the past. Is he running too hard today?
No, he's doing fine. He's just doing what he has to do. He has to come up and give this guy a little bit of a bump. Again, Tom Koch could be gaining on, so he's got to get by these guys. The only way he's going to let him know he's back there, the horn obviously is not working. He's going to have to come up and give him a little bit of a bump if he can, not too hard.
Like that, I assume.
No, that wasn't too hard. That's all right. That was a little nudge.
I don't know about a nudge. It sounded more like the Titanic hitting an iceberg to me. But Pat Dean does force his way past and moves on. In the roughest areas of this course, only specialized equipment can stand the punishment. Let's check with Ivan in the pits.
One of the secrets to going fast in the desert is suspension technology. One of those aspects is wheel travel. That's the distance that the wheel goes up and down, the full distance. A stock truck will be about 8 inches. This is Dale White's Chevrolet race truck, Class 8, and has just about 20 inches of wheel travel. You can see that's the total distance that wheel falls. And without that kind of wheel travel, there's no way they can get around this course as fast as they do and across the ditches the way that you see them fly these trucks.
There's a good look at Pat Dean. There's thunder in the desert and dust clouds on the horizon. We're making our way to the finish to the Gold Coast 250.
It's their turf. It's their world. It's their game. And when we don't play by their rules, the results can be deadly. From the creator of the award-winning television series Wild America comes a home video unlike anything you've ever seen. These are nature's dangerous encounters, captured in one of the most astonishing wildlife films ever made, and available now for the first time as a special 1-hour home video. Dangerous Encounters brings you breathtaking footage of real-life conflicts. As civilization brings us closer to America's wildest areas, our encounters with nature's untamed creatures are increasing, and we often underestimate their power with disastrous consequences. Dangerous Encounters is filmed and narrated by Marty Stauffer, creator of the popular TV series Wild America. For 25 years, Marty has brought America's rich natural heritage to the screen as no one else can. Now, he brings these incredible encounters right into your home. If you crave excitement, if you're captivated by nature's untamed creatures, this film is for you. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call this toll-free number now and use your credit card to get Dangerous Encounters for just $19.95. This original production is not available in stores. Order now, and you'll also receive Watching Wildlife absolutely free. Join Marty Stauffer as he shows you how to view nature's creatures in their natural habitats safely. That's right. Both of these extraordinary programs are yours for just $19.95. So call now.
For rush delivery, get your credit card ready and call 1-800-215-3700. That's 1-800-215-3700. Or send your check or money order to Dangerous Encounters, P.O. Box 997, Valencia, California, 91380. Call 1-800-215-3700 right now.
It's that time again.
It's a brand new season.
Time for raw power.
Don't ever dance with a dragster.
Time for sheer speed.
Records were made to be broken.
Time to fire up the 96 NHRA season. Live from Pomona, it's the Chief Auto Parts Winter Nationals. Sunday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central.
The NHRA on TNN Motorsport. It doesn't get any closer.
Welcome back to American Off-Road. Here's the scene as Pat Dean claims his third win of the 1994 season. Just shy of 4 hours, the Gold Coast 250 goes to Pat Dean in the Unlimited and overall divisions. Nice run for Pat, and just a few minutes later, Tom Koch finally made it to the finish line, running out of gas just shy of the finish line, nursed it across, and then it died on him once again. Pat Dean and his co-driver Keith Underwood climb out of their Barbary Coast back entry to the congratulatory hugs from their fans. Let's catch up with Ivan in Victory Lane. Let's come back.
Congratulations, Pat. Heck of a job. You know, we talk about this being one of the toughest races, the biggest rocks, the gnarliest ditches, and it's still just as bad as it's always been.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a long day, and we made a few mistakes. Luckily, the race came back to us. We just stuck in there all day long. We didn't try to set a fire-breathing pace or anything. We just kind of held on, and hopefully the desert didn't beat us, and it didn't this time.
Here comes Mike Peterson, who will take third place in that unlimited class. Of course, the fastest truck all afternoon. Walt Skochenko and Dale White helping him out with the co-driving duties. You can see Troy Herbst fought his way back up into fourth place in the unlimited division. And there's Mike and his crew celebrating with Dale White pouring the champagne on his head. And John Prosser comes home the winner of a hotly contested 1600 division. Take a look at the finishing order here after over 4 hours of racing, a lousy 16 seconds between second and third place. Early on, Becky and her brother Ken Freeman battled for the lead, but they'll have to settle for 2 spots in the top 5 with a third and a fifth. A beaten and battered Scott Bassett, along with his co-driver Scott Smith, come home the winners of the heavy metal division today. And in the mini metal division, it's Tom Dunn and his co-driving brother Howard who claim the win. And here's a look at the other class winners, including J.C. Dean, younger brother of Pat Dean. And another tough, brutal race in the Nevada desert, Ivan.
That's right, Ralph. Let me tell you, as you know, you've got to beat the other competitors. You've got to be tough. You've got to have a good piece of equipment. But you've got to beat this desert. If you don't beat this desert, you're not going to be at the finish.
The Snore Gold Coast 250 is in the record books. For Ivan Stewart, I'm Ralph Sheen. Thanks for joining us on American Off-Road. A promotional consideration has been provided for and a fee paid by the special offer from Diamond P Sports.
What could follow the 3 volumes of Diamond P's and They Walked Away series?